Hello and welcome to the final video of this project of the Trace and Animate John Connor and the Terminator. And thank you again to Infinite Psychosis for recommending this project. It was a tough one, but thank you for the recommendation because it really gave me something to strive for, because it gave me a new project that I've never done before, and I truly do appreciate the recommendation. And if you guys have anything that you would like me to do to trace and animate, then please feel free to recommend that in the comments. I'm always willing to take requests because my channel is still still growing, very small channel. So if you guys have a request, then please subscribe, put your request in the comments, and I might not get to it immediately, but guarantee that I do have a list of the projects that I do, and I will trace and animate. So welcome to the final welcome to the final video of this project where we're gonna put everything together. So here, as you can see, it's the background that I did. So what I did with it was that I animated it. You can see it's very simple, and then I took it into After Effects. I gave it a motion blur, and then I just made it move back and forth and imported it into my project as a video file. I did try to use it as a as an image sequence, but it wasn't working out well, and it was causing the software not to operate efficiently. In fact, it wasn't even rendering at all. So what I did was I imported a video of the background, and then I added a feature called immune to camera movement. So everything else, the camera can move around the back, but the background was stuck to the camera, so that you don't get out of the boundaries of the background that I created. So yeah, it was fun. So you can see it was a very fast background, and then I just imported it, put it behind the main props, and it worked out really well. So I was happy with the results of the backgrounds. And just to make it unique, instead of making it one project, what I did was that I made it what did I do? I made two backgrounds. So one background from John Connor's perspective, and then one background from the Terminator's perspective, so that it doesn't look too repetitive, and I think that worked well in my favor. Now, a lot of work again came through the it was a lot of lip syncing for this project, but I have figured out a trick. So the trick for me to do lip syncing very fast, and which I learned in this project, can you believe it, is that I don't need to create the lip sync file for all the dialogue all the way. I don't need to do that. What I need to do is take a portion of the dialogue, create a lip sync of the keyframes, right? And I just need to make it look nice, and then what I do is that I just copy and paste there, and it really works out well. And this project, I'll tell you, it was a lot of cheat codes, if I can tell you, and you will see that, because all I did was to do one scene for the Terminator and John Connor, and I just kept on moving my keyframes as I went along. So I didn't even repeat anything. I didn't even repeat or copy or paste. I did copy and paste a little bit, but once I created the things, I'll just move them to the new frame that the camera was on. But I'm gonna point out all that stuff when we get into the part of the way I do that. So this first section that we're doing here is just creating the basis for John Connor that he will be having, and that we'll be using as a template over and over again. So here you can see I'm just selling his face, making his eyebrows move a little bit. Now looking at this, I feel like his eyebrows, I could have done a better job, eh? They look too simple, and I think, yeah, I could have made it at least a little bit more complicated, but I think I might have chosen the easy way route into doing it. So if you're watching this, I hope you saw the character design for John Connor, the car, and the Terminator, so that you kind of make sense of what's going on in this final project, or final video rather. And if you haven't, then please feel free to go check them out. You don't necessarily need to watch them in a sequence, I don't think so. So in any order that you watch them, it would still work out. I don't think you need to watch them in chronological order of the way I uploaded. So we're coming to the 5-minute mark. If you've made it this far, then please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out my channel. I've got lots of videos and projects happening there. This is the 10th video that I'm creating, so that means there are 9 other projects that you can do. So in total, the channel now has 30 videos. So that's a lot of videos to watch about animation, behind the scenes. I find it exciting, but because I do them, sometimes I've seen them over and over again. I'm probably giving myself the views that I'm getting. But alright, so jumping back into this, so right now we're still working on the first scene, and right now I'm just doing the test animation, as you can see. And if you've got excuse me, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, then also please feel free to ask in the comments. I don't mind going into detail about certain aspects. So sometimes maybe in the video I don't talk about something, or maybe there's something that you found particularly interesting and I don't talk about it. Please feel free to ask in the comments, and I will answer you in detail, perhaps even more detail than you asked for. Alright, so what I did was that I just made the camera move around in the car to sell the shot, because the more the camera moves, it kinda gives it like, you know, the car is moving itself. It's like bumpy road, but it's actually the camera, which I was pretty happy. Now, because this project has multiple shots and it's not a continuous shot like the previous project of Miles Morales and Peter Parker, I had to use the Word document again so that I can keep track of what frames I'm using, and it definitely helps a lot. So here in this project, you'll see it's another video of the background moving that I just put in the background, and I make sure that the camera doesn't move with it. And then you can see that it really did come out nicely. So here you can see I just moved the video to start there, and then you can see how that works out. And the background wasn't too difficult. It took about 15 minutes at most, so nothing too complicated about it. So you can see we've got the Terminator. He just needs to switch his eyes looking at John Connor and at the road. Now, originally when I had done this, when I was planning how to do this project, I wanted him to have a head turn. So I wanted his whole head to turn, and I did create that. You'll see there on your right hand side there's an action for this character, which I did create for his head to turn, but it just looked horrible. Like it didn't work out the way I wanted it. But in terms of the result that I got here of him looking, just using the eyes, I think it worked well. And what I did was I also added a little rotation to the character so that he doesn't look like he's just sitting still. I wanted him to give him that, you know, like he's bumping a bit up and down, and not to make him look like he's still. He's not still. What's the word I'm thinking for? He's static, that's the word. So I didn't want to make him look like he's too static, so I gave him just a little tiny motion. Now, as you can see, I wasn't really happy with, it doesn't really look like the Terminator, and I can attribute that to the lips. They look so weird. I wish I could have changed that, but during the animation of this, I really tried, like when the camera wasn't recording, I really, trust me, went back and forth trying to fix him, and I couldn't do any better job than I did, and hopefully I can learn from this. So now with this John Connor character, you'll notice that I'm now just copying the same lip sync that I did, and all I'm doing is just moving it to be in the areas that I want it to be. So I'm not even lip syncing again. So I learned a really cool trick in this project. That was really cool. And then you'll also notice with the camera movement, the bone rig, not creating anything, just moving the characters, moving the rig to the position I would like the animation to be at. So you can see from this project, what I learned is not to work hard, but to work smart and effectively, because the animation of this was literally about an hour and 45 minutes. Imagine, to animate this was an hour and 45 minutes. That's how short it was. So even doing the characters was also short as well. So you can imagine when you do your own fan fiction of whatever you want to do, trust me, once you do the initial character designs, you can you can turn out a lot of episodes. You can do so many episodes in a short few space of days. I don't think I'm saying that phrase right. You can take out episodes. Well, you can animate a number of episodes in a short amount of time. So here you can see just moving the camera. I did create a few frames, but other than that, the rest of it was just me moving things around. So here you'll see, and then I just save, and then what I do is that I just save as. So you can see I was just going back and forth between the first scene and the second scene. It was just save as, and I think that made it faster. Yeah, I'm trying to think, was it lazy? No, I don't think so. So here you can see all I'm doing is moving the keyframes. I'm not creating anything from scratch, moving the keyframes and just adding the dialogue. And you can see I'm also moving the background, so it's sort of almost like it's chasing the scene. So it was really cool. So thank you to Infinite Psychosis for recommending me to do this project, because I absolutely learned something new. So here we're doing the project. You can see it's coming to life. So here I was just adding a few of his lip sync files, and again what I did was that after I created them, all I did was shift them to the areas that I did need them to be. And he only has about 2 lines of dialogue, and then the rest is mostly John Connor, and that was because I was more happy with how John Connor turned out. I was using John Connor more to sell the scene than anything else, if I'm being very honest. So here you can see we're coming, just creating the other scenes, and with this one it wasn't a lot of cut scenes that I did. It was a very few shots that I did, and yeah, I was pretty happy with the amount of frames. At first, when I was planning it, I thought it required a lot of work, to be honest. I thought maybe it would be about a minute or so, but then when I cut the audio into what I needed it to be, it turned out it wasn't a lot of work. So that was nice, because then I overestimated the project, and then it wasn't really a lot. So here you can see with John Connor, again, not copying and pasting, just literally dragging the audio to where it needs to be. I did struggle, I think, with dragging because it was so tiny to catch the keyframes. But yeah, you can see that. So here you can see it's working out really well. And then what I did was that I might have added a zoom for John Connor, but I think that might have been scene 3 or something. So here you can see, and that really looks good. I think also the background did a good job, but there are points, I don't know if you guys noticed this when you are watching it, or you can even notice in the final animation at the end of this video, is that the background is not too consistent. Like it jumps, you can see the points where the loop starts again, like it does this weird jump cut where things shift up and down. But I hope you only picked it up because I've noticed it. Otherwise, if you picked it up without me noticing it, then well done, you've got eagle eye, sharp eyes. That doesn't make sense, does it? Eagle eye, sharp eyes. Sharp eagle eyes. Oh my goodness, what's happening today? So here you can see we're bringing the Terminator closer, just again dragging his lip sync files, and nothing has to be done. And you can see I'm just chasing the animation, chasing my keyframes, and I'm not doing anything from scratch because it's a new trick that I've learned. So I suppose I'm now a one-trick pony because I can just move these things. And this helps a lot, especially with frames that are consistent, and if you don't have a lot of like cut shots. No, if you have, it works well if you've got a lot of cut shots. I think if you've got, even if you do have one, I still think it would work well. So there's nothing too difficult, I think, because you just drag the same things. Now with this project, I didn't bring it into After Effects. I didn't add anything like color grading or anything because I thought that the original color worked really well. So you won't see me going into After Effects for this project. It was just, I thought it was good the way it was in terms of the coloring and everything. So I was truly happy with that. So now you can see now how I'm moving very fast from scene to scene, because again, nothing needs to be created. All you gotta do is just move things around. Quite lazy, but look at that. That's me moving things around. Me taking all the layers. I just need to move the things that I need, taking the bone movements, moving things around, and that is all that is required. So that was really awesome. So yeah. So we're almost coming to the close. So just before we get to the the final animation of this video, I just want to say again, thank you to Infinite Psychosis for recommending this video. I know I've mentioned your name multiple times, but I want to give credit where credit is due, and I learned something new in this project that I haven't learned in other projects, and I think that's been the case for the projects that I've been doing. So if you guys would like to give me a challenge, maybe you want me to trace and animate something, then absolutely, please feel free to comment in the into the comment section for the suggestions of what you would like me to see, and please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next project. Check out the final animation.
No. You gotta listen to the way people talk. You don't say affirmative or something like that. You say no problemo. And if someone comes off to you with an attitude, you say eat me. And if you want to shine them on, it's hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, or later, one. And if someone gets upset, you say chill out. Or you could do combinations.
Chill out. What?
That's great, see, you're getting it.
No problemo.